Okay, this is lesson 7.4. We're going to look at surface area of cylinders, cones, and spheres. And what we're going to do is we're going to do one example of each. At the top here, I've got some common equations. They're also on your formula sheet, but let's just dive right into the math. We'll do one cylinder, one cone, one sphere, and I'll leave the other example for you to try on your own. Note, we're going to use the pi button a lot. So on your calculator, you need to be able to find where the pi button is. Every calculator is different. Sometimes you just have a dedicated pi button. Other times you have to search a little bit, and it's written like here on my calculator. So to get to that, I have to press Shift, this button, to get the pi button. If you can't find the pi button, just use 3.1416, and that should be close enough to get the right answer. Go a little bit more than 3.14. Definitely don't use just 3. Okay, so let's give some of these a shot. So what we need to be able to do to find the surface area of these shapes is identify the shape, pick out the formula, and plug the numbers in. So let's start with this shape. This is the shape that's a cylinder. So we have to go find the surface area equation for a cylinder, which we have right here. 2 pi RH plus 2 pi r squared. So let's go write that down. 2 pi RH plus 2 pi r squared. And now we have to look in here. We got r and h and r. We have to figure out what r and h are. If you're not sure, you can go look at the diagram and see where r and h are. Well, r is on the top of the circle, so r must stand for radius, and height is the height of the cylinder. So let's go look to make sure we've got those two numbers. And we do. 36 is our height, and 22 is our r. So now we just have to fill those in. 2 pi, 22, 36, and remember when you place a letter with a number, you just put it in brackets, plus 2 pi, and we've got 22 squared. And now you can do this in parts by breaking it up, like calculating all this, then calculating that, and then adding them. But I'm going to suggest you practice putting this whole thing in your calculator at once. Let's give it a shot. We got 2, find the pi button, 22, 36. Plus 2, find the pi button, bracket, 22, and then you're looking for your exponent 2 button. Mine's this x squared button. You might have like a yx button where you have to press it and then hit 2. That's this button for me, but look for the one that just says x squared. And now we've typed the whole thing in, we can hit equals, and mine comes out with an exact answer. If I change it, I get my decimal answer, which is 8,017.3. That's what we're aiming for. So our surface area is 8,017.3, and we're in centimeters, and since we're area, it's centimeters squared. Okay, I'm going to leave B for you. The only trick to B is that the units aren't in the same units. We've got 125 millimeters and 12 centimeters. If we want to change one of them so they match units, then we can do the question a little bit more effectively. I'm just going to do the change for you. We're going to change the millimeters to centimeters. And if you remember how to change from millimeters to centimeters, we just have to move the decimal once because it's only one step away. So let's use 12.5 centimeters. And then we can do the question using 12 and 12.5. So I'll leave that one for you to try, and you can check your answer on the course website. Let's move on to C. C is a cone. If we go look at our formula sheet, the surface area of a cone equation is pi r squared plus pi rs. Well, let's write that down. Surface area equals pi r squared plus pi rs. So let's see if we can identify where those are. R stands for radius. We have the radius. And slant is this diagonal, which we don't have. Whenever we're looking for a slant, we're going to have to use Pythagorean theorem. So off to the side, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Our slant is our c squared. 10 would be our a, and 5 would be our b. So we got to do a little bit of math here. 100 plus 25 equals 125, and square root, we get our slant. The square root of 125 is 11.2. So now we know our slant. So now we can use the equation. We got our r, 5, and we got our slant, 11.2. So let's plug them in. Pi, r is 5, pi, r is 5, slant is 11.2. And now we can just type this whole thing in our calculator. So let's give it a shot. We've got pi button, 5 squared, plus pi button, 5, 11.2. We hit equals, we get 81 pi. I'm going to get the decimal answer, 254.5, we'll round to. And we're working in meters squared. So there we have it. Okay, I'll leave this one for you to try. Same steps, we have to find the slant first, and then we can find the surface area of our cone. Last one is a sphere. The surface area equation for a sphere is 4 pi r squared. This is my favorite surface area one because it's very straightforward. Surface area equals pi r squared. Sorry, 4 pi r squared. 4 pi, the radius in this case is just 4 feet. So it's 4 times pi times 4 squared, and we can just type that in. 4 times pi times 4 squared, and we get 201.1. And we're in feet, and we're squared. All right, that's it for surface area of cylinders, cones, and spheres. Try one example each and check your answers on the course website. Thanks for watching Lesson 7.4, and I'll see you next time.